So last time I got these Hornby little OTA wagons. A few of the stanchions have snapped off. They'll need re-gluing at some point, but I want to make my own loads for them. It'd be nice to have them as removable. So here's an early attempt. As you can see, didn't really work. So this will be considered version 2. Rather than having the loads as removable, I'm just going to glue them straight in to one of the wagons. Probably this one, because this one doesn't have the weight on it, and this one already does, so we'll go from there. Now those are still nice and soggy and glue. Pop one in there. Another one. That glue's sticking to me, but not the product. So there we go. Hoping that the little bit of contact they have is enough to set these really nice. If not, I'll be down to send them back through. So it seems to have worked quite well. The logs are in there nice and secure now, pretty good. Move you out of the way there, little class 8. The loose ones are obviously loose, so I can take those out and move them as I need to. So with this one here, I am going to give it a bit of pinch and what have you. This chap's fallen over. He's clearly had too much to drink this morning. So that'll want a little bit more detail in the painting, because the wood is a little bit too bright at the minute, so that'll be a little bit of a future jobby. Get that sorted out. It should be okay. Me class 37. I've tried something a bit different. Well, I said different. It's I'm trying to make it more usable. On the rear end there, you have the standard coupling. Now this is the Vitrain 37, so I've had to stick that on with some epoxy. But on the front end, you've got the detail. So what I've done is I've had to stick a D-ring coupler on there, thus, just to test it. So the idea is, I can do a bit of both. Shunting from either way, so it runs around my circuit. It's a bit more useful in terms of shunting. There we go. Nice little way of adding more functionality. No, it's not the most prototypical answer, and arguably it's not the prettiest either, but it does work. And it is easy to do, and that is what's most important. Moving on. So this week, Helgen showed us the new designs for their Class 10 800 in the early British Rail, the livery and guises. Dripping with the usual detail you'd expect from Helgen, this looks to be a promising model, and certainly looks to be one to keep an eye out for if you model this era in British Rail's history. Decorator samples will be with us soon, with the actual models being available at the end of 2022 and the start of 2023. Bachmann's newly tooled and released Class 37s hit retailers recently, and so far the sales have been well, with the usual reports of success from people who have purchased them. This of course prompted a response from Accurascale UK saying that imitation is the best form of flattery. Limited pre-orders remain available, so if you do want one, now's your chance to strike while the iron is still hot. It's certainly going to be interesting when both are on the market for people to review to see which one really is the better model. Finally, Accurascale have announced that their PFA wagons are inbound, with a hopefully end of August arrival time at their warehouse and with their stockists. Looks like they're coming with a range of packs and different containers to choose from, so that's always good, giving lots of scope for lots of modelling. Accurascale also state that you can grab an extra 10% off when you order direct with them. Given the recent success of their Deltic and other wagons, I wouldn't expect these to hang around for long. And that's everything for this week's news. So it's time for general updates this week from the railway. So what we've got here now on the ever famous TMD section, the back seam has now been removed, as you can probably see, because we had an issue with wagons derailing this section of track here. What happened was, in the heat, it had warped slightly, and as the bogies were coming along, they were not uncoupling, riding up over the rail and derailing. So I had to take the back seam off, and then basically lift that entire section of track and relay it, because it had actually warped. You can see now it's nice and straight, but it actually was like this. It came out almost half a centimetre. It was like that. It was really awful. So that's good. But now that that's actually been moved away, and keeping in mind what the eventual plan is for this section, being that I'm going to put a point in there and extend the layout down here for the container yard that I'm building, or that I plan to build, it's making me think what I can do with this section here. Can I possibly add more scenic stuff, perhaps, or put a different bridge in or something? I don't know. Maybe a different back seam entirely. What do you think? Let me know what I should do. Should I just pop the back seam back, or should I make a different one entirely? Let me know thoughts. Be good to hear what you think I should do with it. Over on this side, things pretty much remain unchanged. The Oxford die-cast reach stacker looks absolutely fantastic. I really need to weather this thing up. I think it looked great, and the lovely containers. Again, even though they're not die-cast, which I was disappointed about slightly, and yes, I understand that if they were die-cast they'd be heavier. I didn't mean a solid brick of metal, but certainly a hollow casing, whatever. Even if the main body was metal and the ends were plastic, that would have been better than, all plastic, but whatever, not an issue. Really nice looking little bit of kit, and I will really enjoy weathering that up and everything else. Still on with the back of the depot here. I need to weather that little office needs weathering. Work out where I'm putting the gates, and then I'm going to have a little bit of seam going down behind the buildings there. They are low relief, just to give the impression that the world continues on behind here. Really, I'm considering making this a cement discharge point. I'm not entirely sure how to go about modelling that, though. I have looked the best I can for some UK outline appropriate equipment. So I don't know, maybe cement silo there, so I can have the wagons discharge. I don't want it to be a loading zone, so I don't want to load the tankers with cement. I just want to offload them into silos. I know they're usually connected via hose, and then the material is blown from the tankers up into a silo, so something like that will be really good. So if you have any idea or any links to any information on how I can make that a reality, please do let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it. Finally, the back seam there, I've moved that a little bit further back, so it now sits at the back there, because I'm intending to put some fence work up here and make it like almost like a mid seam back seam type thing, if that makes sense. And I'm going to extend that. That's probably going to get replaced with a longer piece which goes all the way across there. So, and then this will stay, but then the bigger back seam will go behind the back of that. So more like a scenic break than anything else. I just think it's going to tie the whole thing together a lot better than what it currently is. And then we can obviously have this little building here. I'm not sure if I should keep that there, or just remove it, fence work up, Again, what do you think? Let me know. Alright folks, that's going to be it for this week's episode of Iron Horse Weekly. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've any suggestions about what you want to see coming up, let me know, and I'll be happy to do what I can to make that happen. Cheers folks, speak to you all soon. Bye bye. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.